I think women feel guilty way more than men. What is that about?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is that about? I mean,
Because we haven't talked about all of our own upbringings, but I came from a super guilt-ridden, family, and that was why you did things, is because you had to you had to be perfect, you had to measure up. I think as women we are taught that you can't make any mistakes, you can't, and that is, and we feel guilty about anything we do that's wrong. And I just think that is something that is deep-seated. It certainly was within my upbringing. I don't know.
what do you think, Roxane?
Yeah, I was raised Catholic, so lots and lots of guilt. And Haitian, so it was like double the trouble, double the fun. And I think that women are raised to be deferent and to take on the responsibilities of the world and to be responsible for everyone's happiness. And so guilt is part and parcel of being responsible for caretaking everyone's feelings and happiness. And as such, women tend to feel guilty for existing. We tend to apologize for existing. And the number one thing I tell young women that I work with, because they apologize for the strangest things, I just say, if you say sorry to me one more time, like, stop apologizing. You're just living. You're doing your job. You're doing a really great job. And they get so surprised by hearing that they don't have to apologize. And it's one thing to apologize when you actually make a mistake. That's healthy, and everyone should do that regardless of your gender. But you shouldn't apologize for existing, for asking questions, for taking up space, for having a voice.
Yeah.
So Cecile hit on it. My friend and someone I'm sure y'all both know and admire, Reshma Saujani, who's the CEO of Girls Who Code and complete badass, has said boys are taught to be brave and girls are taught to be perfect. So I agree. And then when we fall short of perfection, we feel bad about it. In the business world, the research tells us that white men are promoted based on potential and that people of color and women are promoted based on achievement. So the bar is actually not, people talk about lowering the bar is actually higher for us. What I then find, and I'm going to be a little controversial here, is that when we are successful, the bar is then raised for us again, and often by actually other women. What do I mean by that? I remember being on a panel when I was the chief financial officer of Citigroup, so I had a pretty big job. And I was on with some other CFOs, and it was a little bit of the, how did you get to be successful? How are you doing? And then I was the only female on the panel, and I was the only one who got the question of, and how do you achieve work-life balance? I'm like, oh, amazing, right? This is amazing. I made it to the CFO of the largest financial services company in the world, and now I also have to have work-life balance. I have to find that perfection, between working hard. And of course, the answer was, I don't. Obviously, I don't. My goal for myself always has been, as a mother, to be mediocre.
Right there.
Right there. Right there, right there, good enough. And by the way, guys, my kids are now old enough that I can tell you it didn't really make a big difference. But we are socialized as women that we have to have that next level of perfection. Besides the fact that it is really, frankly, a privileged white woman's construct, right? Nobody's talking to the woman of color who's cleaning, the rooms in the hotel about her work-life balance. So it is, it's a construct of privilege that we then put on ourselves and on our friends and on our colleagues, not as being, isn't it amazing that we can have this sense of any kind of going back and forth, that we don't have to just be one or the other, but that we have to somehow achieve this perfect balance.